Do you want to know the best way to play Grim going into the new season? We've come to the right video. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to play Grim coming into the new season so that you better know how to play Grim going into your own ranked games. I'm going to go over things like his loadout, general tips when I bring you into a custom game, and at the very end of the video, I'm going to bring you into a VOD review of me playing Grim so that you better know how to play Grim going into your own ranked games. With that being said, enjoy the video. So like I said, the first part of the video is going to be the loadout section. He actually has two pretty good primary guns. He has the 5.52 Commando and the SG CQB shotgun. This comes on Doc and Rook, I'm pretty sure, and it's actually not a bad shotgun for being a pump action shotgun. It does 53 damage, its range is actually really long, and it has 7 bullets with a vertical grip. So if you want a good shotgun to play on attack, this is definitely a good contender. But he also has the 5.52 Commando, which is a great AR on attack, so more times than not, you're going to be running this over the shotgun. It has 48 damage, 30 bullets, and 690 fire rate with little to no recoil, as you can see in the bottom right. For attachments, I would personally just run vertical grip and suppressor. Like I said, there's not much recoil, so you can get away with playing suppressor, and then the vertical grip makes up for any recoil that might be there. And then we have the secondary, which is the P229 handgun. It has 51 damage for a pistol, not bad, with 12 bullets, and not any recoil at all. So you can run muzzle brake on this and be able to 2-tap 3-speed defenders, which is actually very powerful. So for his guns, he actually has a pretty good gun selection. And then you go into his secondary gadgets, the breach charge or the claymore. I would personally run the breach charge over the claymore 9 times out of 10, unless you know for a fact your teammates are not going to be watching flank, you're not going to be watching flank, or you don't have a nomad / gridlock going. That would be the only time that's really excusable to run claymores, but even then, you could always put down a flank drone. You could always have a teammate watch a flank drone or play nomad and stuff like that. So claymore is just kind of a cop out to easily watch flanks, while breach charge has a lot more versatility with its soft destruction. So that being said, the best loadout in my opinion that you could run with Grim is the 5.52 Commando, the P229 handgun, and breach charges. That being said, his primary ability is of course the Kawan Hive launcher, the ability he gets as an operator, and I'm going to bring you into a custom game right now to better show you how that ability works. Okay, so I brought you into a custom game of what Grim actually looks like. So basically his ability is a B launcher that you shoot anywhere with this little B launcher right here, and it sticks to any surface. So if I shoot it at the floor, it'll stick to the floor. If I shoot it at a wall, it'll stick to the wall, and if I shoot it at a roof, it'll stick to the roof. So I'm gonna give you an example right now. And then move around. So as you can see by my mute player right there, if you're standing inside of the actual bees, it pings you indefinitely, which means no matter where you move, there's a constant ping on you. But if you leave the radius, it'll only ping you once every 5 seconds. So that's essentially what it does, is it gives you a red ping to where, you know, if you're trying to get an angle and you shoot somebody with it and then they're pinged, you can get a pretty easy gunfight with them. It's kind of like playing Jackal or Lion mixed together. It's very, very useful. But there's a lot of different things you can do with this. So I'm going to give you one example of like just a basics on Grim. So a good example of using Grim correctly is, let's say I come down these stairs, I've droned out, and I know that there's somebody behind this box. What I could do to make this gunfight a lot easier is I could shoot a launcher right here. And I see he's there, right? So now I know I can safely push up because he's in this ping right here. Now, if I spot him, he can only do one of two things, right? He can swing me, but even then if he swings me, I have pings on him, so I know he's going to swing me, and I get an easy pre-fire right there. Or he can stay still, and if he stays still or leaves, you know, I can easily take all of this space because I know where he is, and I don't have to worry about being contested from this angle, right? So it's like Lion in a sense where if you drone him and you get pings on him, you can take space or you can take easy gunfights. He's just a very easier version to play of Lion, more soloistic, but he is a little less useful in more situations, other than Lion being useful in mostly every single situation. So a little bit of a trade-off there. So that's pretty much the basics of Grim's ability, and let's talk about some counters. So first of all, mute is a great counter. If you see I shoot my thing in anywhere near the mute's radius like this, it doesn't get launched and no bees are swarmed, right? So if you shoot it even outside of the mute's radius and the bees that actually fall into the mute's radius like this, then it doesn't work, right? So either way, it gets mute jammed. And then if you actually shoot somebody and they get jammed and then they come into the mute jammer, it'll stop them from being pinged. So watch this. Now he's not pinged anymore, right? And so that ping still stays there. So it can actually be extremely misleading, but mute is a great counter to Grim. So one advanced tip that I want to talk about with Grim is you can play him like Smoke, in the sense where you use his ability to cover one area while you focus the other. It's essentially diminishing gunfights to where you only have to take one area on at a time. So what I mean by this is, let's say I have info that there's one guy in the hallway right here and there's one guy on the rotate right here, right? So what I can do is I can use my bees and shoot one area and then focus the other, right? Because if I shoot again, it's going to make him leave, or he's going to stay there and I have info, right? So if I shoot here, I have info, Okay, I have bees, no one's there. Let me swing this angle. Boom. I can kill him, right? So I essentially just completely negated the side of view and my map, and I only had to focus on one side because I knew nobody was there due to these pings, right? It's the same thing with smoke. You smoke off one area so that you only have to worry about the other area. Use that same mindset whenever you're playing Grim. Another thing I want to talk about with Grim is you can use him as like a mini flank watch. So what I mean by this is, let's say I'm planting the bomb right here, and I'm planting the bomb, but I don't want him to push me from two different angles. So like I said, you can use these bee canisters to shut down one angle and then be able to look at the other. Or if you have more, you can shut down both angles like this. And then I can come here and plant. And if I get pings on him, okay, I know he's coming, I get my gun out, and I kill him. Right, so good example of being able to use this to shut down any rotations as like mini flank watch. So my last tip for Grim on how you can be useful with him is you can actually use him for burn. If you don't know, there's actually 5 of these canisters that you can deploy, and Jaeger ADSs and one Mighty Discs counter Grim. So you can use this to burn any ADSs that may be on a shield back here, and then you're able to get you or your teammates to destroy that shield. So like this, burn 1, burn 2, burn 3, and then boom, you get the shield. Easy as pie. You can do that with Jaeger. And then with Wamai as well, if you shoot one of these things, it actually gets caught by the disc and deploys where it stands, just like any other attacker utility. So that's essentially what that does. But with all of that out the way, that's pretty much it for the custom game section. I'm going to bring you into a VOD review where I show you exactly how to play Grim in ranked. So you better know how to play Grim going into your ranked games. Okay, so I brought you into an in-game example of me playing Grim in a ranked match, and I'm going to show you my step-by-step thought process on what I do, why I do it, so that you better know how to play Grim going into ranked. So right now I spotted a guy in a drone, and I'm kind of just chasing him down. I have my teammates obviously, you know, droning my back and helping me out. So I get a ping in the room, I try to pre-fire, I miss. So my assumption is he's still in the room, right? Because of this, I send a launcher through here. And I put it right there because these launchers, again, stick to any surface they touch. So all of the bees are going to swarm in that area, and they'll ping him if he's in there. Instead of me having to drone him and risk him swinging me, or me just go in pre-firing, I can safely just shoot one of these things in there and be able to get pings on him. So that's what I did that for. No pings, so I go in pre-firing the left, and it's clear. So then I'm like, okay, he's probably Freezer. And you know what? I'll just solo push Freezer. Try to bait him out, he's not there.
You must recover the diffuser.
I hear him drop.
Sending out RCE.
So, okay, I use one there because this is going to make him do one of two things. It's going to make him sit still, which gives me an easy gunfight because I have pings on him, right? It's going to make him swing me or leave, right? So if he swings me, I get a free kill, I have pings on him. If he leaves, that's the only safe option that he could take to conserve his life. And even then, he's leaving, right? I essentially took space with one launcher, which is what I was talking about in the custom game, which is what you want to be doing. So he backed up, I got pings on him, and I took all this space in freezer. Now I know one's laundry. I put a second one there so he doesn't push me without me realizing. As sort of just like a mini flank watch, you know what I mean?
There's one down pillars.
And then I clean them both up, easy work. I hear one's in pillar. I didn't hear the down call, but I heard one was there. And so right now we're just kind of taking our time. It's a 3v3. So, you know, the pillar call, obviously, I shoot a hive launcher just to get any info on there. And then I'm shooting laundry to see if anybody's sitting in that corner so that maybe I can get an execute onto the door to my left. There is a guy there. He swings me. So that launcher's good because he did swing me and I put the launcher there. And those bees are telling me that he didn't stay there. He immediately went back into the rotate, so my laundry's clear. Therefore, I can push up to the door to my left and be able to take space that way. So it's just a good indicator of like, you know, like mini flank watch in a sense, like I talked about in the custom game. But it's also really good for taking space like Lion is, which is something I also talked about. So you're starting to see everything that I'm talking about being put into motion, and that's what this VOD review is for.
The diffuser is no longer in your possession.
We did lose a round, but it was still a very good example of how to play Grim in a ranked match correctly. That was a great example of a Grim round. We did everything that we wanted to do with his launcher in terms of mini flank watch, flushing out defenders, getting info on defenders for our teammates, and we ended up getting 2 kills because of it. So very good Grim round in my opinion, even though we lost, and that's how you need to be playing Grim going into your ranked games. Like the video if you liked it, and I'll see y'all next time.